week's episode of One Piece, the battle for food continues as Luffy, Nami, Chopper, Brook, and Carrot fight against an entire Marine base, as well as 3 Marine rookies, Grount, Bonham, and Zappa, who each have their own unique personalities and signature fighting abilities. Luffy and his gang sneaking into this Marine base to steal food is really more of an annoyance than it is an actual battle. I mean, they completely wipe the floor with every single Marine that they run into, and the 3 Marine rookies really aren't all that powerful despite the fact that they have some pretty interesting designs and quirks. Grount in particular, who doesn't really seem like he's going to come into his own until the very next episode, and all I'm really going to say about that is, look at the preview and look at his arm. I don't know what the hell is going on, but it looks like it's going to be pretty cool. But for the most part, Luffy and his friends just make these guys look like a bunch of fools. Especially Carrot, who just continues to make me fall in love with her every single week. I mean, she really does feel like a natural character who could belong as a member of the Straw Hat Pirates. She's just so incredibly pleasant to be around and so happy and loves going on the adventures with Luffy. And she also manages to hold her own in battle by constantly zapping the hell out of Zappa with her electro abilities. I'm glad that they're still keeping those relevant. But most of this episode was essentially just watching Luffy and his friends run away from these guys as they make it to this giant steel mill, which is filled with all of these food and provisions that belong to the Marines, when they're eventually confronted by Zappa, Grount, and of course, Bonham. And this leads to a big confrontation with lots of flashy styled moves. I have to say it was really cool getting to see Chopper go up against Bonham, because both of these characters have the ability to transform into a lot of interesting forms. This is something that we already knew about Chopper. For Bonham, it's kind of a surprise. In his initial form, he's basically this like big, fat, super-powered guy, but he's able to condense that power, become really thin and muscular, and able to move really fast. The problem is, Chopper is one hell of a seasoned fighter, and he has even more forms than Bonham, and essentially just completely destroys him. I especially loved the scene where Nami was using her brand new climb attack, where she mentions that Zappa doesn't know what it means to satisfy a woman, and it's made even funnier by the fact that her new climb attack in her hands, for a lack of better words, just looks like a dildo. And then there's Grount, who's definitely the main character of the 3 Marine rookies, and man, what a disappointment. He just gets his ass smacked in this episode. I don't even really think Luffy has to use any signature techniques when he's fighting against him. He's not even using his Gumu Gumu abilities. He's basically just straight up punching him and smiling while all of this is going down. It's made even more embarrassing at the beginning of the episode when he's holding on to this massive pot of curry and fighting him with a frickin' soup ladle. It's hilarious because he adds insult to injury by actually eating the food after kicking his ass, making these rookies truly look like their namesake. Just plain rookies. However, escaping the island is not going to be so easy as they are confronted by Prody at the very end of the episode, who has them completely blocked off, but Luffy is still smiling as he knows he's about to kick some Marine ass. So, what's the rundown on this week's episode of One Piece? It was a filler episode, and it definitely showed. The good thing is, it's almost over. This is going to be a very small filler arc, and that's really the best thing about these One Piece fillers. They don't outstay their welcome too long. But what I will say is, what I love about them is they give us an opportunity to get to know some of these characters a little bit more. Case in point, Carrot, who is absolutely the most pleasant character that I've seen in the series introduced thus far. I just cannot get enough of Carrot and her antics, and just how much fun she is to be around. She's incredibly useful, she's incredibly funny, she has a unique design. Please make her a Straw Hat Pirate, I absolutely beg of you! The rest of this episode, though, is mostly just a lot of goofy antics as they fight against the Marine rookies. Some of the scenes are semi-serious, most of them are just kind of ridiculous. Like I said, it was really funny at the beginning of the episode with Luffy actually fighting with this massive pot in his hand while eating and using a soup ladle to defend against the swords of Grount. Grount himself really doesn't seem like that amazing of a character. Basically, he's just a rookie who's out to prove himself, and if he can take down Straw Hat Luffy, that's going to make him look really good in front of his Marine comrades, which, you know, I like the design of Grount. I just feel that Zappa and Bonham have more interesting abilities. I mean, Zappa not so much. It's mostly just his quirks, the fact that he's like an even creepier version of Sanji, but the fact that he's so lovesick makes him really funny, and he himself even uses a lot of electrical abilities. Bottom transforming was actually maybe one of the bigger surprises of the episode, but going up against Chopper, he was just destined to lose the entire time. On the technical side of things, this was an okay-looking episode of One Piece. Just very average, really nothing to write home about. But it really wasn't that special of an episode. I mean, it's a filler episode. I mean, it's not gonna, like, reinvent the wheel or anything, or do anything all that new for the series. But I'm kind of hoping to see how it's all going to wrap up. The preview for the next episode looks really interesting, and it looks like Luffy might actually have a decent fight by the end of this filler arc, and maybe we'll get to see some more awesome stuff from Carrot, who is just awesome. I love Carrot. So, this was an okay average episode of One Piece, so I'm going to give this one right here a 3 out of 5. Check it out, One Piece fans. If any of you did watch this week's episode, make sure to tell me what you thought about it in the comments section below. What do you think of the 3 Marine rookies? Do you have a favorite member of the group? What's the deal with Grount's arm in the preview? Is he going to go through some sort of weird transformation? Is this the result of a botched Devil Fruit ability? Is it something else entirely? What do you hope to see from the rest of the Marine rookie arc before we move on to the next big arc of the series? Please tell me in the comments section below. Thank you guys for watching this review. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for all things One Piece anime related, as well as other anime reviews. Please leave me a comment or two, as I'd love to chat with you guys about this week's episode. And if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, please give it a thumbs down. I will see you guys next time. And as always, stay damn, baby.